Having fun?
Oh my gosh, I'm disassociating. So I kind of get out of myself.
Come on in. I'll show you.
Where I go? Oh, beautiful view. Oh my goodness. Okay. Thank you.
That's fine.
Thank you so much. Welcome. The goal of this presentation is to be different. Not only to visually demonstrate difference in a formal academic presentation, but primarily because a paradigm shift is being argued by the Step Care 2.0 model. Such a change is considered necessary to transform current mental health systems into one that authentically meets the diverse needs of those it serves. But let me begin by telling you about the importance of seeing the entire elephant. There is a well-known ancient Indian parable known as the blind men and an elephant. In this parable, none of the men had ever come across an elephant before when the group came upon one for the first time. Without a frame of reference for the entire elephant, each man began to feel a part of the elephant directly in front of him. They then drew conclusions about what that specific part was. For example, the man who felt the trunk of the elephant was certain he felt the snake, while the tail was considered to be a rope, its feet, tree trunks, tusks, a spearhead, its ears, a blanket, and skin as a wall. The vastly different descriptions meant those men were unable to reach a consensus, and the conflict was never resolved. One of the morals of this parable is to avoid drawing conclusions about absolute truth based on one's own limited perceptions or experience. Can this parable be compared to some current mental health systems, where aspects of the care systems are siloed, so invested or wedded to a particular approach, are unable or unwilling to see why things should be different? Norcroft describes the current mental health system as follows. The system is broken in so many ways. It proves to be inaccessible, inequitable, inefficient, and ineffective. Nothing short of a comprehensive and ambitious overhaul is required. With an increase in demand for mental health well-being services, long wait times, difficult to access services, often with convoluted and excessive documentation, unquestionably leaves very little room for ensuring that the diverse needs of those seeking services are met. By taking a synergistic approach, the blind men in the parable could have recognized that they were trying to make sense of the same object. By recognizing their empowerment or agency, by being flexible, offering each other empathy, reflecting on their own perceptions of the object at hand, or engaging proactively in diplomatic disruption, may have given them the outcome they all wanted, a better understanding of the object they were feeling. This way of working cooperatively is described as synergy. With its roots in traditional, indigenous, aboriginal societies around the world, synergy is a universally accepted term to describe interconnectedness, interdependence, or cooperation. The outcome is a whole greater than its sum parts, as opposed to the separate contemporary constructs of diversity, equity, and inclusion. The use of the term synergy is expected to be a constant reminder that while we are all unique, we are all connected. From the fact that we live on the same planet together, share a place of work, home, cultural practices, or simply even a smile. It means seeing our uniqueness, our strengths, our various social, cultural contexts. From such a description, it is easy to assume that synergy gives a superficial or I don't see color, I don't see difference. On the contrary, it means seeing all aspects of a system, those parts we welcome and those we may find difficult to acknowledge or accept. The welcoming parts of a mental health care system that we like, and speaking purely for myself, can be addictive. Knowing that you facilitated, advocated, or supported a change for the better can personally keep me going for months. However, the opposite cannot be said for the parts that we may not want to see. The reality that current mental health systems have, like many other systems, use theories, practices that are often rooted in the dominant values of the larger society. They may have ignored the fact that our training, our accreditation, our infrastructure may be culturally oppressive. Christian states that it is this global white supremacy that has shaped all geographies and national racialized social systems, but in different and nuanced forms. Recognizing the interconnectedness between systems and those within them, along with their historical and social context, means acknowledging that we all share in the collective historical traumas that have been embedded in mental health care systems over the past several centuries. In 2002, I posed a question. If we do not seek to see mental health systems or well-being services as a synergistic whole, then are we not merely serving as agents of the status quo? From a synergistic perspective, seeing the connection between the past and present means recognizing that a paradigm shift needs to occur. In this instant, mental health well-being services, from the macro, meso, and micro levels, all aspects of the system must be involved, each recognizing how their contribution will work to decolonize and transform a system. Such a systematic change management approach requires risk-taking and diplomatic disruption. In addition, Synergy recognizes that honest self-reflection, truth, and reconciliation are necessary if restorative care is to be trustworthy. Compassion and empathy should be core to all practices. Empowerment and agency should be promoted for good risk-taking to occur, and that practices should be flexible in their design. Synergy requires a proactive approach to building a world that does not currently exist. That is, well-being everywhere. Synergy means moving beyond the mandatory DEI training or diverse images strategically placed in public spaces and/or trying to do the impossible. In order to address injustices in our current system of care, Step Care 2.0 seeks to embody the philosophical foundations of ancient indigenous cultures to realign individuals, communities, infrastructures to achieve optimal well-being. Synergy within the context of Step Care 2.0 therefore lays the foundation for appreciating and valuing the interconnectedness within the complexity of the systems in which we operate. From this perspective, diversity, equity, and inclusion is not siloed, rather incorporated within a holistic, restorative practice of care. Therefore, Step Care 2.0 requires a commitment from all aspects of a mental health system to work together for solutions that look, behave, and feel very different.